And where's Mount Mitchell? Okay, now let me start out where y'all have been on the rim. Those of y'all that have walked the rim went up to Cedar Cliff, which is that kind of beveled off mountain over there. Rock Mont's down at the foot of that. You came down a little gap and then got up to Eagle Rock. And in fact, if you look on Eagle Rock, you can see some of the rocks protruding out that you were on. Then you followed the skyline all the way around to up to White Oak Flat, and then Craggy Knob up above the Blue Ridge Parkway. And then if you go across that long flat right above you see the parkway and you see kind of a sloped pyramid, Craggy Knob. If you go to that next if you go to that flat area, just over that flattest, lowest little area there, a little sag, is the big shelter at Craggy Gardens. And then if you go to that next saddle, that's where the visitor center is. And then you all climbed up what all of us natives like to call Buckner Knob, after John Buckner's family, is Craggy Pinnacle. The parkway polluted that name. And then if you come on down in that next swag and come up to Craggy Dome, if you pull up to the red light in downtown Black Mountain with Bilo on the right, and you look right up the red light, you see Craggy Dome. That's the highest peak you can see from Black Mountain, a little over 6,100 feet. Then you come out the flat and you see Bullhead. That's that flat knob that basically the old timers called it that because it looked like the head of a bull. Now y'all walked just behind that when you came out of Balsam Gap on that hike that van led. Now, those of y'all remember Balsam Gap where we came off, or where we came off the Blackstock Knob hike? That's directly back behind the Middle Mountain Range, or the Walkertown Mountains, or the Seven Sisters. You can't see it, but you can see Blackstock. See Blackstock, the big black one? You all rim hikers cross that. Come on out and you see Clingman's Peak, and you see the towers at Clingman's Peak. Now, if you go to the right off of Clingman's Peak and you see that predominant V, upside down, or not upside, the V, that is the entrance to Mount Mitchell State Park. Now, if you come on up from that, you come up what they called Sugarloaf, and Hallback. Those are some of the old names. Now, go just to the right and you barely see a little level area. That's Mount Mitchell. That's the summit of Mount Mitchell. Yes. Now come right back straight toward us and you see that broad pyramid-shaped mountain. That's Blue Ridge Pinnacle, which you all stood on top of, looking down into the watershed. And then if you got on Blue Ridge Pinnacle and came on down like you all did, and Joe brought y'all down to Graybeard. Graybeard is that kind of broad-based mountain just to the left of Clingman's Peak back toward us. And then the one you see from downtown is actually Big Slady. You don't see Graybeard. Big Slady blocks it. But that's basically what's today known as the Seven Sisters, which drop off here in town. Or just basically a little northwest of town. Now, Billy Graham's house. How many, just raise your hand, know where Billy Graham's house is? I know Joe does. Okay, let's see the best way to explain it. Okay, yeah, some of you can't see it. If you go up to Tomahawk, that's that first big, broad first sister, the one right here. And if you go just to the right of the top, you see a little bit of a sag or swag there, or a low gap. All right, come down that low gap about what looks to be about halfway down, and you'll see a little white speck behind the trees. That's Dr. Graham's house. And he's got about 145 acres there. And then Camp Merrimack, if you come back to the left of Dr. Graham's, and right in the bottom center of Tomahawk, you can see a shelter, a roof of a shelter. That's the shed up there above the lakes at Camp Merrimack. And they've got about 140 acres. And then you hit the big tract of about 2,400 acres that's in a trust, the Mountain Retreat Association. All that watershed up Flat Creek is back that way. Everything you see back here is Forest Service, Ridgecrest. You can see the big fire now. You can see the big burn on Rattlesnake and Copperhead. And then those of y'all drive up the parkway going north toward Boone, and you see the big fire tower on Green Knob. That's Green Knob right back there, and you can see the fire tower on it. Now, when it's really clear from my house, I can see Grandfather Mountain, which is right back over the ridge there. Now, what we're going to do, what you all will be doing, finish up the rim. Jesse's high top is back here, the one that Begley can see. And Roger's going to be taking you all along it, out to high top, down into Painter Gap, up over what we always called growing up Round Knob or Lakey Knob, and then coming down. And the next hike we do, we'll start out the same place from the house and go across Glade Mountain and back into number 9. And this is all, when you were walking out here today, everything on the left is Christ Mount's big watershed, and they put that in a conservation easement. And then the rim is what you see back over here that we're going to be doing today. In fact, if you all see that little knob right back there to the left of Joe's head at the top, no name peak or no name knob, just remember that. No name knob.
No name.
You're going to be naming it.
You're going to be naming it.
No, well, we'll get out there. Okay, let's see. The other thing I didn't mention, y'all, even though what we're going to do today is the closest to town, it's the most remote piece of wilderness you're going to walk on the whole rim hike. Now, I know that sounds funny, but it's honestly the truth. There's no trails on what we're going to be except about the last quarter of a mile. Well, really about the last 0.6 of a mile. And that'll be one of Ridgecrest trails. But everything we walk on today, there's no trail, and it's all deep, remote wilderness, and there's no way to access it really, unless you do what we're doing and bushwhack in. Joe, we miss anything?
That was easy.